There's a shred in a Maya Angelou poem, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. One way to do that is to collect and celebrate the life lessons of those people. Because you never know in what situation of life has someone cracked the code of a heartbreak, how to restore love, how to trace back from a crisis at workplace. So how can one person help a million others find their 9,999?
Today we are meeting with Deepak Ramola, poet, lyricist, conversationalist, storyteller, communicator extraordinaire, the man behind Project Fuel. His audacious mission is to immortalize the wisdom of as many people as possible through effectively communicating these lessons in a way that they resonate, not as profound sayings, but as something experiential. How does a young man from Dehradun with no background or resources create a movement that is hundreds of thousands of stories strong, present across the world, and sustains what has become a collective vision to gather, share, and effectively celebrate a million life lessons?
जिंदगी ने आपको क्या सिखाया?
जिंदगी ने सर हमें संघर्ष ही करना सिखाया।
संघर्ष
जी, संघर्ष से हमें जीत मिलती है।
The fuel in Project Fuel stands for Forward the Understanding of Every Life Lesson. The emphasis is on the word forward because life lesson is an effort to collect wisdom. But what is more exciting, what is more meaningful for me is the act of forwarding it. One thing I was absolutely sure about when I was 17 and had all these life lessons, I don't want it to be a quote on the wall or just like something written down. I want people to experience. So the experiential part, the forwarding the understanding, is where we use different tools and mechanisms to create one act. And the act is of making lives count. One particular time I remember being in the Delhi metro and it was early morning and I was sitting across this woman and I just popped the question of what's your life lesson? She said, if your face can surprise you in the mirror every morning, you're still having a good life. So how do you actually take that poetic philosophy and turn it into a physical activity? And the activity was born in my head. Give everybody in the room a small piece of mirror, ask them in a time duration to discover 10, 20, 40 new things about their face. And if they were able to find things that surprised them, they're actually still having a good life. I've done it with refugees who don't want to confront the physical transition that has happened since they sat on that boat. And there was this one particular girl when she said that your activity actually helped me fall in love with my smile. How that woman on that Delhi metro was able to help a girl in Punjab fall in love with her own smile. It's the most beautiful concoction of wisdom that can happen, you know? growing up in a house with a woman who says she hasn't gone to school and yet is like this valley of knowledge was very conflicting for me. And I would question her multiple times. And her answer invariably would be, I'm learning from life.
बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं इसकी मम्मी अनपढ़ है, पर मैंने बोला बेटा मैं पढ़ाई मैंने नहीं करी, मैं अनपढ़ रही हूँ, पर तुम मेरे को ये साबित करके दिखाना कि अनपढ़ वाले के बच्चे नहीं हैं।
That statement for me was a revelatory statement because I thought if she is learning simply by living, that means everyone who's living is learning something.
शादी ब्याह में जाएगा तो एंजॉय तो कर लेगा, सबको हंसाएगा, वो करेगा, पर उनके जीवन के बारे में जरूर पूछेगा, तुम जीवन से क्या सीखोगे, कैसे करोगे।
कोई भी बुजुर्ग आदमी गांव का जो उम्र की लास्ट पड़ाव में है, उनके साथ बैठना, उनसे बातें करना, बचपन से इसकी हॉबी थी वो मतलब।
So my mother, whose simple life lesson morphed itself into this question of what is life lesson, I asked it and I threw it like a dart on every person. And I think it has served me well, that curiosity. Agni, how old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
So what has 17 years of life taught you?
My life has taught me one must live to give and just work for others without the expectations of getting back.
Good job. Good girl. Awesome. I read an article about a place in Banaras where people check in to die. I was very curious because I thought the people who are not only conscious that they are going to die, but have embraced it, with a sense of timing, people might be able to condense the sum total of what they know. In this particular Mukti Bhavan, I met Mr. Bhairav Nath Shukla, who's the manager. For 44 years, has seen more than 12,000 deaths. The life lesson that he shared, resolve all conflicts, means that you need to forgive or ask for forgiveness as soon as you can. I was taking a flight from Mumbai to Chandigarh. The woman ahead of me looked at me and she gave me that sort of a look of, oh, I've seen you somewhere before. In fact, before saying something, she started to cry. And she said, I need a picture with you. And I said, okay, sure. We took a picture and I said, but why are you crying? And she said, I was watching your video and I have been separated from my husband for last 4 years. And I saw your video that said, resolve all conflicts. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, you know what? You have a big ego. I have a bigger ego. But I'm trying to resolve this because I just saw somebody on the internet, this young boy, say that should not be your biggest regret on your deathbed. He calls back in an hour and says, we are so stupid. I've missed you all this time. Let's take the conversation forward. I would like you to come here. And as I'm hearing this, the woman flashes the boarding pass in front of me and she says, this is my ticket to Bhopal. I'm actually going and seeing him. In Bombay, over the years when college got over, I had a job as a writer, which I used to enjoy, but then it was not exactly what I wanted.
He was doing Project Fuel, he was doing songwriting, he was working in a production house, and he was running between meetings, some script story, and he was like always, that's why he was frustrated, I guess.
Somewhere along the way, I think it got clearer and clearer every weekend that my passion really was being in a classroom. Never have I ever felt awkward, embarrassed, threatened, or any negative emotion when I'm standing in front of children. That's the safest space one can provide me. And so we put together this tour in Punjab, where I had to teach in 6 cities, 3,500 children. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. When that film came out, it went viral. I didn't even anticipate it. In fact, I remember my Facebook status putting it up online was, "Dear world, this is my love letter to you." 10 days later, I'm standing at Asia's largest TEDx event, TEDx Gateway, addressing an audience of nearly 4,000 people. And so many collaborations that night came my way. And I had no option but take the call of actually quitting a full-time, whatever I was doing, and turn Project Fuel into an organization that would have a mission and an objective to just collect wisdom and celebrate wisdom. जिंदगी से सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ आपने क्या सीखी जो आप आज के बच्चों को या बाकी लोगों को बताना चाहेंगे?
एक बात है, ईमानदार से रहो, ईमानदार से काम करो, अपने लिए या देश के लिए, बस.
I remember telling both of them that, imagine how powerful it would be if we were able to collect the life lessons of a whole community. Sword is a 600-year-old village. Nearly 200 families lived here because there was no road, there was no access, so now only 12 families remain in the village. When I remember calling Purnima and I was like, I'm going to collect all these life lessons from all these villages. And she said, well, then I can paint them for you. When people talk about migration in Uttarakhand and they say there is no hope on how those people can be brought back, you show up with paints, 200 liters of paint, and you paint the hell out of it. What we did in 2017 is we documented all the 200 families, their stories, their life lessons, and based on that, we were able to derive information that Purnima sort of sketched on the walls. Vibhor said, okay, I'm going to do the whole, mapping and documentation. And this is Geeta Mausi. आप बताओ, कौन किस को पेंट किया ऊपर तो? आपको बनाया और
मेरी दोनों भैंसों को बनाया. भैंसों का नाम, एक का नाम बिंदिया. ये बिंदिया तो है, सोनाली बिक गई.
सोनाली बिक गई.
एज अ पोइट जो इसका करियर स्टार्ट हुआ था, जहाँ से इसने लिखना शुरू किया था, आई थिंक 1 साल तक इसने बहुत वाहियात ही लिखा है. उसके बाद इसका थोड़ा लेवल इंक्रीज हुआ, तो इसकी मोस्टली पोएम्स में कफन, मौत, हवा, बांझ को बच्चा हुआ, something horrible he has written. I can't share with you.
And he was such a character because the first day we were all introducing, we're like, yeah, I'm an artist, whatever. He's like, he's brought a full speech for himself. He's like, I did this, and you're a constellation, you're a star. I'm like, who is this guy? Crazy Galileo.
As a part of a regular thing in the hostel, we would want to know who is new. And then when Deepak came, so he's like, hi, my name is Deepak. And then, he had that very innocent voice, and then everybody thought, haan, mil gaya, bakras to mil gaya. You wouldn't believe the next 15 minutes, he spoke pure Hindi. Our jaws dropped. We were like, what is this thing? Who is this guy? And that day onwards, he became a kind of a young inspiration for us.
फिर से साल के 365 दिन बिना तुम्हारे गुजर गए हैं.
संग दिल.
हाँ, वक्त की गहरी खाई में 12 महीने फिसल गए हैं. तुम होते तो कहती तुमसे.
तो वो लम्हा जब उसने फर्स्ट टाइम मुझे फोन पे सुनाई थी, and I was literally crying. That day I felt कि
he's become quality.
इसने कुछ लिखा है और लिखने में maturity level आ गया है. I've been an adult all my life. Trust me, I've never been a kid. How could I be when they shouted out bitter names in empty alleys? It really takes an adult to explain to oneself that there are no bandages to fix heartbreak and pain, and there are no pills to subside the adversity of being mocked in corridors, in classrooms, in tuition classes, on the roads, everywhere you go. The kid would not know what to do with it. I had to be strong when my best friend back in class 10th was no longer sitting next to me as I returned after the recess. He could not afford to be seen with someone who sounded like a kid or a girl or a kid or girl both. I have eaten solid food, faked heavy voices. Did it work, you can ask? Not really. You can see. And now, I teach visually impaired children all across the country. And the funny thing is, the children in these workshops call sometimes, "Deepa ma'am, I have a question." And I don't correct them. I ask myself, does it matter how I sound? Given the fact that I can at least be heard loud and clear, loud and clear. You see, I've been an adult all my life. I've never been a kid.
Hi guys. Hi guys.
He's ready to give chances to people. He believes in people and their potential.
Another thing that about Deepak is that, there's always a room for mistakes.
In a way, every year, whenever, I'm a little tired or feeling a little down, when I'm like, okay, bahut kaam ho gaya, I can't do any more, you just need one call with Deepak.
I think I'm blessed to have met him. Because of meeting people like him and Purnima, I've been part of such beautiful projects. It changed me as a person.
Isn't life the best classroom for all the learnings it teaches us? You don't need an organization like mine to learn from others. All you need is a bit of curiosity, loads of enthusiasm, and an open-hearted conversation. So the question really is, what's your life lesson? Awesome!